Hello, today we are going to see about the extension. What do you mean by extension? What is the importance of extension? Is extension needed in veterinary? So, for a UPSC student, the extension subject is a very simple subject. You can score maximum score in extension, so that you have to give more concentration on extension, so that your one unit will be over within within 1 hour we can finish all the syllabus of extension. Okay, so first we can see about the syllabus of extension for UPSC. Veterinary science optional. There are 3 units. One is the basic philosophy and objective and concept and principles of extension, and different method adopt to educate farmers under rural condition. You can see that it is a very simple topic, but there are so many questions asked from this topic so far. And second one is the generation of technology, transfer and feedback, problems and constraints in the transfer technology. Okay, and third one is the animal husbandry programs for rural development. So in these 3 units, we are going to say about each unit separately, and thus today we are more focusing on the unit 1. Here we are going to see about the basic philosophy and objective and concept and principle behind the extension education. Okay, so these are the previous year questions asked so far from the unit first. You can see that we can get more generalized question. We cannot, from the extension point of view, we cannot generalize the question based on the unit, that syllabus, based on the syllabus, but I have corporate based on the questions so far asked from the unit first. Here we can see that different question. In 2022, you can see that describe the various method to educate farmers under rural condition. Okay, and the principle of extension. And all the questions we can see here. Okay, and if you are going, before going to the extension, we have to know some idea about the extension. What do you mean by extension? The extension is a simple topic. We used to think like that as a veterinarian there is no role for extension work in our life. But apart from that, the extension is we are extending something out of school syllabus. We are teaching the farmer how to do the work over in a field condition. Here the point is that the most of the research are going on the research labs, but the outcome of the research not reaching to the farmers, and he cannot adopt that research into his life. Means he are following the traditional method. That's why sometimes the efficiency of such method is very less. But we have to make sure that the farmers should adopt the research ideas into his lab, and new method of production, new breed that have developed, and new machineries he should adapt into his land, so that he can increase his income. Once that farmer could increase his income, means he can improve his livelihood. Ultimately we can build our nation based on our extension. So the extension is a important subject in such a, if you are thinking about in a such a way. So the first topic is the philosophy behind the extension. Philosophy means any objective, that is the study of the fundamental nature of a life. So in extension means, in philosophy, this is the basics of extension. We are going to do a extension work in a village. What will be the philosophy? What will be our objective? Or what will be the ideas that giving the fundamental idea about the extension? What is the program? How will we build a program based on these objectives or this philosophy? The first philosophy is the farmer central approach. That means before going for a extension work or extension program, we have to focus on the farmer. What is his needs? What is his interest? What he needed? In some farm there may be they have to increase the production. Some maybe they want to improve the disease management. Some they want to include the modern technology. So each person have different interests. We have to focus on the need and interest of farmer rather than our extension agents need. Okay, first we have to go in through the farmer center. We have to focus on the farmer, what his need and interest. Okay, that's come under the farmer center. We have to prioritize the farmer's needs and their challenges in our extension program. Then second is the participatory approach. We have to promote the farmer led agriculture extension through collaborative planning and feedback. That means we have to get the participation from the farmer not only in the process but during the planning as well as the during the course of work of extension. We are going to teach about how to use a particular breed. We have to make sure that he needed that breed at first place. Otherwise, there is no need for an extension program for that farmer. For example, we are going to a farm and the farmer want to improve his milk production. So, what we can suggest, you can use this particular breed. Okay. So, first and during the planning and the execution step, we have to collaborate with the farmer, and during the he had adopted that particular breed into his farm, and after that the farmer should understand what's the feeding schedule, what are the housing requirement of particular breed. So the participation in different stages of extension should be, we have to make sure, okay, that come under the participatory approach. And the third one is the promotion of sustainable practices. The sustainable practice is nothing but it should be like maintained in the society such a way that we can reduce the pollution and the carbon footprinting. Such kind of thing should reduce. We are giving some particular chemical fertilizer to a particular agriculture field. So that we have to promote a organic matter so that the nature will not polluted. So before planning for an extension program, we have to make sure that the idea that we are promoting should be sustainable one. Okay. Then there are three philosophy. One is farmer centered, and second one is the participatory approach, and third one is the promotion of sustainable practices. Okay, you got the idea. I think the farmer centric approach, we have to make sure the farmer is the key person in our extension education. We have to make sure to include his interest and need. And the second one is the participatory approach. We have to make sure his participation during the planning as well as the execution of our extension work. And the third one is the sustainability. We have to make sure that our extension activity that we are going to suggest should be eco-friendly and it should reduce the carbon footprinting. Okay. So I think that you got an idea. So we can go to second slide. The objective of extension. What is the objective of extension? We all are having some objective. Now your objective is that you have to clear UPSC with a high score that you can get into IPS or IAS. Okay. So extension also have same objective. Means what we have to do. We already said that extension means we have to reduce the gap in knowledge between the research and the land, and that means the farm. The research going over the research lab, that should be reached to farmers by extension agent. So ultimately what we need, that we have to improve the agricultural productivity. How we can improve the agricultural productivity? By adopting new methods, new technologies and new innovations. Okay. So boosting the agriculture output by efficiency through advanced methods. So we can increase the agricultural productivity. And the second one is we have to improve. Once that agricultural productivity will increase, means what will happen next? He can sell more his produce and he can earn more money. That means he can improve his income. So by increasing the efficiency of his production, he can improve his livelihood and income. The livelihood means the way of living. Once he can generate more money, means he can use that on his living condition. He can improve his housing condition, or he can adopt new technology. So the first objective is we have to enhance the efficiency of production, agricultural productivity. The second one, we have to improve the livelihood and the income of the farmer. And the third one is same. We have to promote the eco-friendly, and we have to conserve the resources, and we have to cut the emissions and sustainable agriculture. So we have to promote the sustainable livestock practices. Only 3 points in objective. What are they? We have to increase the agricultural productivity. This is the first and foremost step in any extension activity. We have to improve the agricultural production. And we have to improve the livelihood and the income of farmer. And third one, we have to promote sustainable practices. So I think you got idea. We can move into next slide. The concept in extension. Before going to concept in extension, we have to know some basic idea. The concepts in extension means what are we going to do, okay, in the extension. And we already told that we have, as the extension agent, we have to reduce the gap in knowledge between lab and land, okay. So for that, the researchers or the scientists in the lab, they will generate some technology. That technology should be transferred to farmer in the land level or the farm level, okay. For that, first we need the transfer technology. The technology over there on the lab, that should be reached up to the land, that means up to the hand of the farmer. For that, we need what? The transfer technology. The second one, how this technology will transfer, how the farmer knows about this is the new method, this is the new breed developed by this particular institute, how the farmer knows. There should be a communication. There should be a communication channel so that the farmer knows about these things. So for the communication, what are the things? The media is there, TV is there, YouTube is there, everything. So communication is the second concept. And third one is the participatory learning. We already seen that we have to get the collaboration with the farmers on all the stages. Okay. So the participatory learning means here the farmer should learn the things, that the technology that we are going to teach, or we are going to we are going for extension planning for particular technology, that should learn by farmer. So in concept, what are they? First one, we have seen that there should be a transfer technology. The second one, there should be a communication. The third one, there should be a participatory learning. That means the farmer should know or learn about this particular technology. And fourth one, there should be a feedback and adaptation. And we are promoting particular breed, okay. Once the breed was we are thought about that particular breed, and farmer should get a feedback. We have to get a feedback whether they can say that okay, it's a good breed, we got the production and we got the maximum milk production, and I am going to adopt it, okay. By the farmer, maybe we get the feedback. Otherwise, sometimes they will say that okay, your breed was good, but the maintenance is a bit costly, so that I cannot use it. So there should be a feedback from the farmer and the adoption. Once the feedback is good, we will get the farmer will adopt that particular technology. What are the concept in extension? Only 4 points. The one is transfer technology. And for the transfer technology, there should be a communication. Third one, the farmer should learn. That means participatory learning. And fourth one is the feedback and the adoption. So I hope that you guys have got the idea about the concept in extension, objective of extension, philosophy of extension. Okay. Now we can move into principle of extension. What do you mean by principle? These are the ideas or some objectives that make us to live a particular way of life. Okay, we will say like be fair in exams, don't cheat. That particular principle that we are using in our life, so that we will be like at the end of the day we got the satisfaction, we follow that certain principle. Same happening in the extension also, we have to follow particular some principle before going for a extension education program. Now onwards, we are going to form as an extension agent. We are posted in a particular village. How we will be develop a extension education program? So for that, we have to follow a certain principles. Okay, there are 12 principles for extension as far as concerned. The first one is the principle of interest and need. Okay, it will be very simple to learn, so don't you are not maybe like more confused with these 12 points. It was very easy. You can learn by your common sense, and you can connect the dots so that you can remember. Okay, the first one is the principle of interest and need. What do you mean by interest and need? We already saw that before going for a particular extension education program, we have to see about the interest and need of the farmers. The first one, the interest means the farmer. If we are thinking about the farmer over the Delhi, okay, Delhi or Haryana or UP, their interest will be different from the interest of a farmer in the Tamil Nadu, and my interest will be different from yours. So the interest can vary between places and people. Okay, and when you form a extension education program, sometimes there will be a problem. That means you are going to a particular farm. The farmer may say that he want to increase the milk production, but in another farm the farmer will say that I don't want to increase the milk, but I want to improve the egg production of his poultry farm. And some other farmer will be say that this time I am having too much incidence of mastitis. I want to reduce the incidence of mastitis. So when you going for extension program in particular area, it will be difficult for you to develop a single extension program for all the interest and need of a people. So there won't a single extension program that fit all the interest and need of the people, and the interest and need will be vary between people and places. Okay, so that's the principle of interest and need. It will vary between people and places, and no single extension program will fit for all the interest and need of all the people, okay, of a particular area. The second principle is the grassroots principle. What do you mean by grassroots? The grass and the root. Okay, when comes to extension, the grassroots is a term for the basic or fundamental. Here the grassroots means we are going to the local level. We have, as an extension agent, we have to work in a local area. We have to interact with the local people. We have to address their local situation and issues, and we have to make sure their local issue is going to be reduced, okay, to be addressed. So in grassroots principle is a simple principle. We have to work with the local people, we have to analyze the local situation, and we have to identify the local issues over there, and we have to make a extension education program accordingly. Okay, so in principle of extension need, we have seen that we have to make sure that the interest and need of the peoples are met or not. Or in grassroots principle, here we are going at a local level. We are going to see whether their local issues are what, and their local ideas are what. We have to analyze the local situation, we have to work with the local people, and we have to address the local issues. Okay. And third one is the principle of indigenous knowledge. What do you mean by indigenous knowledge? These are the traditional values or traditional knowledge they are followed so far. So for the indigenous knowledge, when comes to the principle of in extension, we are going to give them a completely new modern technology. When you go for that kind of a approach, the farmers usually, they might be older generation. They don't want to adopt to new technologies. So we have to consider their indigenous knowledge, and we have to incorporate our modern technology along with the indigenous knowledge. We already saw in genetics that we are doing the grading up for improving the breed quality. We are crossbreeding the Deshi breeds with the high quality. We are crossing with the high quality exotic breed. What will happen after some 9-6 cross? We will lose the Deshi breed characters. So what is the problem with that? The exotic breed have more production, but the important thing is they are less disease resistant, and they are less adapted to our climate. So we are before going for extension education program, we have to make sure that we have to give more value to indigenous knowledge, and we have to incorporate along with the modern technology. That comes under the principle of indigenous knowledge. So far we have saw the three principles. One is the principle of interest and need, the second one is the grassroots principle, and third one is the principle of indigenous knowledge. And the fourth one is the principle of cultural difference. What do you mean by culture? The culture means each person who we know that in a society there will be different cultures. The amalgamation of the culture is the society. Different culture will be there, and my culture will be different from US. The South Indian culture will be different from North Indian culture and Northeastern. Different. Each places have different cultures and value. So we are going for extension education in a area. We don't know about anything about that area. So we are going there and we have to give them some new technology or new ideas. We have to teach them. What will happen? They will be more skeptical that we cannot accept new technology or new learnings. It is contradicting my values or customs. So before going to a planning for extension education program, we have to make sure that they are understanding. We have to understand their culture, their customs, their belief. Okay, we cannot introduce any new technology that contradicting their customs or values. Okay, that come under the cultural difference. And the fifth one is the principle of cooperation and participation. Okay, we are going for a extension education program in a particular village. We are already analyzed their situations. We got the interest and need, and we have worked with the local people, and we have analyzed the cultural difference. Already we have seen all these 4 points. We have done that one, but the farmer should cooperate in our work or extension program. Otherwise, there is no use. So we have to make sure that farmer could cooperate with our program. How we can make sure that they will cooperate with us? First, we can think about their problems are addressed or not. Their program should be addressed in our extension program so that they can come and see, okay, our program is addressing my issue, so that if you are going there, we can get maximum result from that class. Okay, so we have to make sure that their cooperation is available, and the participation, we have to make sure their participation in the planning stage as well as the execution stage as well as the end result, the evaluation stage. We have to make sure their continuous participation and cooperation. We have to continue collaborate with the farmers in all three stages. Okay, so that they have that willingness to participate more. So we have to make sure that farmers is participating or cooperating in all the stages from the beginning, the planning to the feedback. Okay, that's come under the principle of cooperation and participation. Then sixth one, the principle of learning by doing. We have seen that we have done so many practicals in the UG classes. What is the use of practical section? We can only theory is needed. Why we are going for practicals? We need some practical knowledge about a particular thing. For example, we are blood collection. We can do the intravenous IV for the dog. We can like we can use particular veins. We have to use particular needle. Then you are going and you are seeing that, okay, she is doing and the teachers over there is doing. So if you are not doing and you don't have the hand-on training practice, what will happen? It will be very difficult for you to perform once you are going into a field. Okay, so same will happen to the farmers. Most of the time the farmers will be less educated than us, and they are most probably illiterate. They cannot even read, but you are teaching about particular breed of cattle, and you are giving that much theory knowledge, but he have no practical utility for him, because he is not using into his lab, into his land. So he doesn't know about the how much water should provide, how much feed should be provided, how much roughage should be there, how much environment housing, how much space should be there, watering the mange, everything should be there, no? So how they will know? We can make sure that we can teach him how to do a particular process. Or example, for example, we can go for a paneer preparation. So you are teaching like after 55 degrees Celsius, we have to add the citric acid or the lemon juice. How means farmer, okay, 55, how she is doing? We can add after the heating or the before heating. He doesn't know. Once you are showing, This is how you are preparing the paneer. Sorry, so that he can prepare the paneer on its own. So same will happen. The principle of learning by doing means we, we make sure that the particular technology or the new innovation, we are make sure that he is doing. We will give the hand-on practice. The what is the importance of hand-on practice? There would be a brain, hand, all senses interaction. Along with that, they will get an idea about that one, and we can problem solving. The real-time problem solving also will happen in that time. So, if have any errors in that, we can make a corrections at real time. So, there will be a that they will get hand-on practice, and they will get the feedback along with time, and we can change their errors, any changes in their way of doing, we can correct it, okay, on real time. That is the importance of principle of learning by doing. And the 7th point, what is the principle of applied science and democratic approach? What do you mean by democratic approach and scientific approach? What do you mean by democracy? It is the for the people, by the people. When comes to that, for the politics, when comes to extension, the democracy, the meaning will be changed. The democracy means that inclusion and the participation and equality. We have to include all the people instead of we are focusing on some people. We have to include all the people. We have to give inclusivity. Sometimes some society, they might have monarchy will be there. Sometimes there will be patriarchy will be there. In Indian culture, it will be most probably patriarchy is there. So the male-centered society. But when comes to the extension, we have to focus to all people instead of we are going to a particular group of people. We have to give inclusivity, means we have to include the people. We have not show any gender inequality. We have to give the gender equality. We have to include male and female. Instead we are going for a particular group, the male, or you are in a male dominated society, you are going for a male population. But in extension principle, it says that we have to focus on all the people, okay. We have to give inclusivity and equality, and we have to include all the people with equal chances. We are giving more chance to some persons, and we are not avoiding some farmers, not like that. We have to include all the farmers. Sometimes the financial status of the farmers will not be that much better than others, and you are focusing only the farmers who are willing to adopt new technology. Not like that. We have to include all the farmers irrespective of their financial status, okay. And the participation, we have to make sure that we have to get the maximum participation from all the people of a particular society. If you are focusing on a particular village or the city, we have to focus on all the people, okay. That comes under the democratic approach. And the applied science means before going to extension program, we will have to teach them new technology. That technology should be scientifically proven, okay. That should have they already published the paper on that particular topic, that's proven, and that evidence based, that our particular technology that showed that this much changes in the milk production, and this particular technology has reduced the incidence of mastitis. That should be a evidence based as well as scientifically proven, okay. So I think that you got the idea about the principle of applied science and democratic approach, okay. Then the 8th one is the principle of leadership. What are the leaders? They are the people who lead the others, and they are the people, they help others. In a particular society, there would be more some people may show the more leadership. So once we are going to a society or a village, we can select those people that have more leadership quality, okay, and we can train them. We have to go a society, we have to select the people over there, we can assess their condition, and we can select those people with more leadership quality. After that, what we can do? We can train them, okay. We can train them. You can use this particular method so that you will get more income, and you can get more production from this particular technology. So first you are going there, you are selecting the leader and you are going to train them. Okay, after training, these leaders will help us to facilitate our extension work in such a way that they will reduce the maybe we are going to a means most probably we don't know about that village. So we will, when we go as a alien, means like as a new person, the people may have that some issues with accepting that some from other society or other culture. But when we are first we are approaching through the leader, a local leader, we will get more acceptability in that particular society. So by leaders we can facilitate our extension program, because more farmers will willing to follow the footstep of a leader. So we will get more accessibility through leader. Okay, so I think you got the idea about the principle of leadership and the principle of whole family approach. What is the basic unit of a society? It is family. So family, instead of going for a single person or individual, we have to make sure that all the family members should participate in our extension education. Like the mother and father and children should be participated in the extension education program. Sometimes there some families, maybe the decision making power should be focused on the father, or some in mother. So in extension education program, we have to focus mother, father and the children. We cannot we can apply the inclusivity of the democratic approach in same principle. We have to include all the people. Okay, family as a whole. And the 10th one, the principle of adaptability. We have seen that the interest and need, we have to address the interest and need of a farmer. The interest and need of the farmer will be vary, or it will be fixed. It will be vary with the time, that sometime the farmer want to improve the milk production. Sometimes they want to improve the management condition. So sometimes he want to like adopt new technology, and he want to reduce the cost of production, or cost of feed, or cost of maintenance. So he want to, sometime their need and interest will vary. So when we are going for a planning extension education program, we have to make sure that our work or extension program that should fit based on the changing need and circumstance of a farmer. Our extension program should be flexible according to the changing circumstance and the situation of a farmer, rather than it should be rigid. So you cannot change your interest and need of a farmer, and we cannot produce another extension program. It should be like this. No, not like that. We have to change our extension program based on the interest and need of the people. It should be a flexible. That's come under the adaptability. And that comes under the 11th one, the principle of evaluation. Here the farmer should evaluate. We have to evaluate our each step. It should be success or not. If it is not success, our extension, their farmer have found some difficulty to follow our extension method or the technology, we have to change according to the evaluation. If it is not adaptable to farmer, that means we have to change our program planning. Okay, sometimes you are want to teach, you are to take a class or lecture for the farmer, but he is not following. So you have to change it to learning. You have to include some program where he can seeing by doing, or learning by some classes, or you can include the multimedia presentations, or you can take him for a field trip, or you can take him for a campaign, or something else we can do. So by that by the principle of evaluation, you can change the extension program planning based on the farmer's need, farmer's feedback. Okay, then the 12th one is the principle of satisfaction. Here the after end of all the extension work, what we need, the satisfaction from the farmer side. that he started his extension journey for improving the production. But after that, we have to make sure that by adopting our new technology, he got improve the production potential of particular farm or the farmer. So in the satisfaction, we have to make sure that the objective of the farmer is met and the interest and need of the farmer is met or not. In the principle of evaluation, we are seeing that in each step we are evaluating the outcome of our extension education program, and based on the outcome we are changing our method of education, method of planning, everything we are changing. So in the principle of adaptation, what we saw, adaptability, we have to change our interest and need based on the changing circumcision, same the circumstance and the situation of the farmer. And the principle of whole family, what we saw, in the whole family we saw that we have to make sure we have to take all the people of family in, we have to incorporate all the person in our extension program. We have to make sure the whole family is participating. And in the principle of leadership, what is the leadership, we have to select and train the local leaders, and they will facilitate and we get more accessibility in their society. And in the principle of applied science and democratic approach, what we saw, in here we saw that we have to include in the democratic approach, we have to make sure inclusivity, equality and the participation. In the scientific approach, in scientific applied science, what we saw, there are 2 points. One is the evidence based and the scientifically proven. The technology we are going to add, we have to teach should be scientifically proven as well as evidence based. And the 6th one is the principle of learning by doing. It is simple one that we know that we have to make sure that they will get the hand-on practice as well as they will get the error correction on time, and they get the maximum participation. And the 5th one, principle of cooperation and participation, we have to make sure they will collaborate along with at the time of planning, along with the each step during the execution. At the end of the evaluation, we have to make sure get the feedback on each step. And the 4th one, principle of cultural difference, there we have to make sure we have to address their customs, belief, values. Okay, in indigenous knowledge, we have to make sure that along with the new technology, we have to include farmers, indigenous or traditional knowledge. And grassroots principle, we have to work with the local people, local situations, and we have to address the local issues. In principle of interest and need, we have to take care of their interest and need, and there say no single extension program will fit for all the interest and need of the people in the society. That can vary between places and people. So I got that you got the generalized idea about the 12 points. So the principle of interest and need we have seen so far. No single program fit for all, vary with the individual based on the interest and need. And we have to work with the local situation, local problem, local conditions. This already we saw that we can move faster. And cultural difference, local level, respect the customs, tradition, belief and values. And we have to encourage participation and cooperation, program development and the execution stage. And the 4th one, we have to promote the hand-on training, and from a practical activity we have to solving the problem, any problems happening we have to correct it in real time. So democratic principle, what are they? Equality, inclusion and participation, and we have to make sure decision from scientific research and evidence based. And we have to select and train local leaders, facilitate the extension work, and we have get acceptance in the local leaders. And whole family, we have to adopt family as a whole, engage men and women, and we will get the holistic development. And we have to adaptability should be flexible, and to adapt to the changing needs and circumstance of the farmer. Okay. Evaluation, we have to implement continuous evaluation each step. From we have to get the objective or met or not we have to correct it, our extension program. And satisfaction, we have to get the satisfying result, and they have to reinforcement. So now we can move into the next topic, the classification of extension teaching method. We can classify extension teaching method based on the how many people are participating. The first one is the individual contact method. Here the face to face. Here the farm visit, that is the example of the face to face communication methods. What is the advantage of this? We can face a specific problem. Okay, specific problem of a particular farm or particular farmer. But what is the disadvantage? It is time consuming. We have to go there, we have to talk with him, and we have to see whether they are having some issues. They have different issues, but we have only focus on single person. It will take, in a village there may be like 1,000 farmers. It is very difficult to go or to each farmer's farm and do the extension work. And the mass and community contact, before that we have to see the group contact method. In group contact method, here will be 20 to 25 people will be there, and they will talk about a common problem. Here we can see about the bus section. Have you ever been to bus section? That all the people will come and they will talk and chat about a particular problem. Or have you ever come across the brainstorming? In cooperative world, it is very common, the brainstorming. All the employees over the office will come over one area, and they will ask for particular, okay, how to improve our, how to get the target on time. What are the things we can change? So in the brainstorming, all the person will come and give the suggestions and ideas. Okay. So in group contact method, there will be 20 to 25 people, and they will talk about a common interest or common problem. In the final one is the mass or community contact method. What do you mean by community contact? At a single time, we are addressing a heterogeneous populations, and people in a short time we are meeting with a heterogeneous mass of population. For example, you are uploading a YouTube video. Within, say that you have 1 million followers or subscribers. How much it will get into more accessibility? So it will come into and the data that you are providing will reach to more than a whole population. What will happen next? The people are same or not? The people are different, so it will reach to a heterogeneous mass of people within short time. So there are three methods based on the number of people participated. One is individual contact, second one is the group contact, and third one is the mass or community contact. Okay. So we can, based on the form, we can classify the extension education program. Okay. What are they? The first one is the written form, spoken form, and visual and audio visual. What are they? Written, spoken, visual, and audio visual. In the written form, there will be a written form, like in the handwritten or the printed material will come. The first one is the bulletin and the booklet. What do you mean by bullet and booklet? Bulletin. In the bulletin, it will be a bound form, but here only less than 20 pages will be there. Okay, it's like a bound form, but less than 20 pages will be there, and it will give a comprehensive idea about a particular topic. That comes under the bulletin. And the second one is the booklet. What do you mean by booklet? In booklet, there would be pages from more than 20, less than 50 pages. This is also bound form, and it will provide a comprehensive idea about a particular topic. And for example, if you are talking about a FMD, so he will provide, in booklet they will provide all the situation, what are the factors associated with FMD, what are the clinical signs, everything we can get into booklet. It's the only thing you have to remember, how much pages are left. In bulletin, less than 20 pages, in booklet more than 20 and less than 50. Okay. And the leaflet. In leaflet and folder, what is the leaflet, pamphlet, what is the difference? The leaflet, there only one is a unbound paper, in only one side it is printed. If it is both side printed, it is called a pamphlet. And the folder means it is also like a paper, but the paper is folded into 2-3 folded, and in here the sequentially data will be given. In here all three we can use the color, photos, anything we can use. And news article, we know that news we are reading in the newspaper, that come under the news article. And the personal letter, that letter we are writing to farm. Okay. So written form, what are they? Bookletting, booklet. And spoken, what are the spoken method? And there is general as well as the special meeting. Usually the general meeting for all the people, like Grama Sabha. Okay. For the special meeting, a particular people will be called. For example, you are focusing on the only the livestock farmers, not the poultry farmer. You are focusing on the cattle, the farmers who are rearing the cattle. So we can call that person only, a particular group. You can come under the special meeting. And the farm and home visit and official call. These are the, what to say, face-to-face meeting. You are going to a farm and you are doing that. You are going visit a farm, you can visit a home, and the official calls. These are the spoken method. What are they? So far we have seen written method and spoken method. And the third one is the visual method. In the visual method, there is 3 categories. One is 2D projected, 2D non-projected, projected and non-projected in 2D. Okay, and 3D non-projected. So you have to remember like that. In 2D non-projected, the pictures, photograph, anything will come. In the in 2D projected, film strips, slides, anything can come under the 2D projector. These are very simple and there is no need to explain more. And the 3D non-projected means here the 3D models will be have the depth. There are 2. One is the specimens and other one is the model. What is mean by model? Model is the miniature version of a something or objective. For example, the miniature version of a train, that we can call as model. Okay. And the specimen, we are preserving something, that living tissue we are preserving, that called as the specimen. You might have seen the specimen of eye in your anatomy lab. And the audio visual aid, where we can see the method demonstration. What do you mean by method demonstration? Here we are demonstrating, the farmer, we are teaching how to do a particular activity. For example, you are teaching the paneer preparation. So you can show how to prepare the paneer by method, by step. But in result, and another one is the result demonstration. Here, in a group of people, you are only focusing on the result. You will show the end result of a particular activity or the innovation or the anything you are teaching. The paneer preparation, for example, paneer preparation, you only show the paneer at the end point. Okay, you won't show the steps. And here the projector one is the film, video, television, that having audio as well as the vision. Okay, that come under the audio visual aid. I think you got the idea. So let's move into the next slide. The constraints in the transfer of technology and diary development. What are the constraints in a diary technology? We can categorize it into 5. Technological constraint, here the technological issues will come. And second one is the physical constraint. And third one is the communicational constraints. And the fourth one is the personal constraint and the cultural constraints. Okay, only 5 points. Technology, physical, communicational, personal and the cultural constraints. In the technological constraints, what are they? There should be a lack of appropriate technology, that there won't be a more technology in the transfer, or like sometime the farmers will be doesn't have any much money, so he cannot adopt new technology. So lack of appropriate technology. And second one is the lack of participation from the farmer side. And third one, the limited knowledge of dairy development by the farmers. And the fourth one, the insufficient technical and financial support from the government sector. And the fifth one is the reluctance of farmers to adopt or improve a new technology. Most of the time, farmer will be more reluctant or skeptical to adopt to new technology. Okay. And the next one, The physical constraints. These are the physical constraints, the infrastructure issues, the transport facility issues that will come under here. And first one is the poor infrastructure. We can write anyways for infrastructure, poor input supply. We cannot give any new additions or the new, because of lack of capital, we cannot improve, we cannot impart new technologies or new input like new machineries, new technologies. So lack of input supply and inadequate transport facilities and the poor communication. There is no poor communication between farmers as well as the researcher area because of the extension agent. So what are the 4 points of physical constraint? Poor infrastructure, transport facility, input supply, lack of input supply, and poor communication. So let's move into next one, the organizational constraints. This is the organization. What are the constraints follow in the organization? We can write anyways: inadequate staff strength, there is lack of proper transfer policy for the employees, and lack of reward and recognition. You are working more, but the employees are not providing you with the sufficient reward and recognition. And the fourth one is the insufficient training for technical knowledge improvement. There is no training for the extension agent, so that he cannot give that ideas to farmers. Okay. And the next point is the political influence. It is the most important one. Most of the time the political parties or the political people will come and say don't do like that. Okay. The political influence, insufficient training, in lack of proper transfer policy, and lack of reward and recognition, inadequate staff strength, and excessive administrative work. We know that as a veterinarian or as a when the employee means like as a employee, we know that we have to do more administrative work, so we cannot focus on the extension work. Okay. So inadequate staff strength, lack of proper transfer, lack of reward and recognition, and insufficient training, and political interference, and excessive administrative work. So what are the communicational constraints? The communication here, the transfer, we need to be like research article. The farmer should publish any research article, means not farmer, the researcher should publish the, sorry, the farmer should the farmer should read any public, can able to read the scientific article or publish the paper, scientific paper. It is very difficult for them. So we have to make sure that the extension agent should translate the end result of the research into the farmers. So what will happen? The most of the time the research publication will be, the published work will be that will not be accessible to the extension agent, because most of the time it will be paid. Okay, the paid journal. So lack of access to research publication, that's the one in the communication. And the next one is the poor research extension farmer linkage. Most of the time in between the farmer and the research there should be an extension agent. The extension, sometime because of the failure of the extension agent, lack of communication between extension agent and the farmer, there will be not be any proper linkage between these three. So it also will cause some problem in the communication. And third one is the poor communication facilities. We cannot have any proper channels like the audio visual aids, or sometime there won't be any internet connection. So that's also come under the communicational constraints. So then the next one, the personal constraint. What are the personal constraints? So we know that we cannot get the support and the support from the superior and colleagues, from our superiors and co-worker, we won't able to get proper support. And the limited participation in the program planning. We have to plan a program with more concentration. So most of the time what happened to extension agent, the extension agent won't get more time on the planning. Someone else will plan it and he have to execute it. So sometime that will happen. And the wide working jurisdiction means he have to work for more different kind of work. So it will be difficult for him to focus on some extension work. And lack of involvement in decision making. The same as the participation in the program planning, and he cannot take decisions alone. He have to make sure to all other people are the stakeholder in that particular program, how to make the decision collectively. Sometimes it will be difficult for the extension agent. And the health problem of a health, that if he can have some leg issue, leg injury, he cannot work and do the field work. And poor communication skill, sometimes the extension agent can not communicate with the farmer because their knowledge level will be different. So lack of communication skill and the health problems, lack of involvement in decision making and wide work in jurisdiction, and limited participation in the program planning, and the lack of support from superior and colleagues. This is the final one, the cultural constraint. What are the cultural? Sometimes the cultural and the social factor will hinder the farmers to adopt to the technology. And most of the time it will happen though, it will contradict the indigenous values and customs of the farmer. You are going to give a new technology. Sometimes it will contradict the farmers' traditional values. And some social relations, some farmers, the peer pressure from the farmers, the friends of the farmers, they might ask them to don't adopt a particular technology. That also will happen. Okay. What is the strategies for the effective communication? We so far seen the constraint. What are the effective strategies? We have to make sure that we get adequate staff. We have seen that we inadequate staff in the constraint, so we have to make sure more staff, regular training program, ICT and mass media. We have to use the use of cyber extension, information communication technology, and we have to make the policy in such a way that the farmer can adopt new technology. And there should be a research extension farmer marketing linkage. The farmer should get the maximum. Yeah, they are producing something, but he cannot sell. We have to make a means of marketing. So, as a extension agent, we have to make sure research extension farmer marketing linkage. And we have to focus on the local leaders and progressive farmer. And we have to make sure that we have to train and select the local farmers, so that the farmers, the common farmers, have that feeling that we can follow the footstep of a particular leader. And we need based research and training. Okay. We have to address the interest and need of the farmer over there. If he wants to improve the milk quality, we have to develop the breed accordingly. Or he wants to improve the fat percentage, we have to develop a breed that have more fat percentage. Okay. So there should be a need-based research, and there should be a regular interaction between the extension agent as well as the farmers. And their para-vet service, we have to provide all the clinical values, so we have to get the para-vet service. And we have to focus on the dairy entrepreneurship, more entrepreneurship activities, more ventures, new ventures should be come for in the agriculture or the livestock farming. Then exclusive extension unit, we have usually the veterinary officers, the VO post, they have to act as the extension agent. Instead of that, there should be a post that exclusively for extension, that so that they can focus on single thing. Okay. So these are the strategies for the effective communication for TOT.